There are few young people in Europe whose lives are watched as closely as Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark. They come from different countries, different traditions, and different royal households, yet they share something remarkably rare. Both are preparing for a future that almost no one else can truly understand. One day, each is expected to become the constitutional head of state of their nation. That is why people across Europe continue to pay close attention to them. It is not simply because they are young royals. It is because they represent the next generation of monarchy at a time when institutions are expected to be more transparent, more relatable, and more accountable than ever before. Today, we'll explore why Europe is watching Princess Leonor and Prince Christian so closely, what makes their journeys unique, and what their stories reveal about the future of modern constitutional monarchies. Princess Leonor, the Princess of Asturias, is the heir to the Spanish throne. As the eldest daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, she has spent much of her life preparing for responsibilities that extend far beyond public appearances. Every stage of her education has reflected the expectation that one day she will become Queen of Spain. Prince Christian, the eldest son of King Frederick X and Queen Mary of Denmark, stands in a similar position. As Denmark's crown prince, he is preparing for a future that requires balancing centuries-old traditions with the expectations of a modern democratic society. Although they come from different royal families, their responsibilities have much in common. Neither was elected to their future role. Neither can simply resign from public attention without significant consequences. From birth, both have lived with expectations that most people never experience. One reason Europe is watching them is because they belong to a generation that has grown up in an era of social media and constant public visibility. Previous generations of royals experienced newspaper headlines and television coverage. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian have grown up in a digital world where every official photograph, public appearance, and speech can be discussed around the world within minutes. This creates opportunities as well as challenges. On one hand, modern royal families can communicate more directly with the public. On the other, even ordinary moments can attract enormous attention and speculation. Despite this environment, both households have generally sought to protect their privacy while gradually introducing each heir to greater public responsibilities. Another reason people are paying attention is the careful preparation each future monarch receives. Princess Leonor has undertaken military training as part of her development for future leadership. This reflects a long-standing tradition in Spain, where future monarchs gain experience with the armed forces while learning about national institutions. Military service is not simply ceremonial. It offers first-hand exposure to discipline, leadership, and the responsibilities associated with serving as commander-in-chief under Spain's constitutional framework. Prince Christian's preparation has followed Denmark's own traditions. His education, public engagements, and increasing participation in official events reflect a gradual transition toward greater responsibility as he matures. Although the details differ, both countries recognize that preparation for monarchy cannot begin only after accession. It is a lifelong process. Europe is also watching because these young heirs represent continuity during periods of rapid change. Constitutional monarchies have survived by adapting to changing societies while preserving national traditions. The next generation will face new expectations involving technology, environmental issues, public transparency, and international cooperation. Future monarchs will need to communicate effectively with younger generations while respecting institutions that are often centuries old. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian are among those expected to lead that transition. Another fascinating comparison lies in how their public roles continue to expand. As children, both appeared only occasionally at official events. As teenagers and young adults, they have gradually taken on more visible responsibilities. Each carefully planned appearance reflects a broader strategy. Royal households understand that public confidence develops over time. Experience cannot be rushed. Official speeches, national celebrations, military ceremonies, and diplomatic occasions all provide opportunities for future monarchs to gain confidence while allowing citizens to become familiar with their future head of state. Many observers have also noted differences in the traditions of Spain and Denmark. Spain's monarchy carries unique historical responsibilities shaped by its constitutional development and national history. Denmark, meanwhile, has one of Europe's oldest continuous monarchies, combining deep tradition with an approachable public image. These differences make comparisons especially interesting. Rather than asking which approach is better, many experts focus on how each monarchy reflects the values and constitutional framework of its own country. Europe is also watching because both eras symbolize stability. In constitutional monarchies, the sovereign does not govern the country. Elected governments perform that role. Instead, monarchs provide continuity above day-to-day politics. That places great importance on preparation, impartiality, and public confidence. Every official engagement helps future monarchs develop the experience necessary to fulfill these constitutional responsibilities. International observers are interested because the next generation of monarchs will inherit institutions facing modern expectations. Citizens increasingly value transparency. They expect accountability. They appreciate authenticity. Future monarchs must balance these expectations with traditions established over centuries. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian represent this balance between continuity and renewal. Their public appearances often generate discussion not because of dramatic events but because people are looking for signs of leadership, confidence, and maturity. A speech delivered with composure. A respectful interaction with veterans. Participation in national ceremonies. Visits supporting charitable organizations. These moments may seem small individually, but together they shape public perceptions over many years. Another important reason Europe watches these future monarchs is international cooperation. Royal families frequently participate in diplomatic events, state visits, commemorations, and international ceremonies. Future sovereigns therefore benefit from understanding cultures beyond their own borders. Education, languages, and international experience all contribute to their preparation. Both Princess Leonor and Prince Christian have demonstrated an interest in learning about the wider world while representing their respective nations. Public expectations also continue to evolve. Earlier generations often maintained greater distance from everyday life. Modern monarchies increasingly emphasize accessibility while preserving institutional dignity. Finding that balance is not always easy. Future monarchs must remain relatable without becoming political figures or celebrities. That delicate balance explains why every stage of their development receives careful attention. There is also considerable interest in how young heirs approach communication. Public speaking has become one of the most important skills for modern constitutional monarchs. Citizens expect sincerity, confidence, and clarity. Each official address provides valuable experience. Observers often note improvements over time as future monarchs gain confidence through practice. Leadership, after all, is developed gradually. Perhaps the greatest lesson from both Princess Leonor and Prince Christian is that monarchy today is less about privilege than responsibility. Their schedules include education, preparation, ceremonial duties, and public service. Their personal lives remain more restricted than those of most people their age. Every decision carries additional scrutiny because it reflects not only on them as individuals but also on institutions representing their nations. This responsibility explains why preparation begins so early. As Europe continues to change, constitutional monarchies will also continue adapting. Technology will evolve. Public expectations will shift. International challenges will emerge. Future monarchs must remain symbols of national continuity while understanding the realities of contemporary society. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian are preparing precisely for that future. Although their journeys will differ, both illustrate how modern monarchies invest in education, service, and gradual responsibility rather than instant authority. That is why millions continue watching their development with interest. Not because of rumors or speculation. Not because of imagined rivalries. But because they offer a glimpse into how some of Europe's oldest institutions are preparing for the decades ahead. Their stories remind us that constitutional monarchy is ultimately about service rather than power. It depends upon trust rather than political influence. It succeeds through continuity rather than dramatic change. As Princess Leonor and Prince Christian continue assuming greater responsibilities, Europe will undoubtedly continue observing their progress. Every official engagement, every milestone, and every speech represents another step toward the day when each will inherit one of Europe's most enduring constitutional roles. Their generation will shape the public image of monarchy for decades to come. Whether through service, diplomacy, national ceremonies, or charitable work, they will help define what modern royal leadership looks like in the 21st century. And perhaps that is the real reason Europe is watching them so closely. They are not simply the future of two royal families. They are part of the future of constitutional monarchy itself. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, be sure to like the video, subscribe for more fact-based royal history and analysis, and let us know in the comments which future monarch you would like us to explore next.